Okay everybody, Kay here on the homestead, and today it's time to cut the cover crop. Oh, I hate to see this go. It is so beautiful. I would love to go another month, but we've got to get the garden ready. We're not just growing cover crops, we're growing cover crops for a reason, to enhance the nutrition of the soil and the biodensity. So what you see beside me mainly is crimson clover and ryegrass. I think it's a certain kind of ryegrass. Hold on. I just looked it up. Perennial ryegrass. So perennial ryegrass is probably going to come back, except that it's just now putting out some seeds, and so it's going to get cut today. You know, when you're trying to run a homestead, when you can get help, you have to get things done. And when you have certain kinds of weather, you can't work with certain kinds of weather. So you have to get things done when people are available and when the weather is right. The cover crop that I planted last year, year before last, came back last year and it came back again this year. And it's black mustard seed, which is actually very good, but I saved a bunch in the garage, and oh my gosh, it would take me a month to collect and separate all those seeds, so I never did it. This is what the black mustard seed looks like after it drops the yellow flowers. Here's a few yellow flowers. These were just covered in yellow flowers, and now all of these are seed pods. It's truly incredible. I mean, there would be enough mustard seed in one plant for a whole family for a whole year. I want to show you plantain over there. My last video I covered medicinal plants growing in my yard and garden. So this is plantain, narrow-leaf, and this is how it looks when it puts up the flower stalk and goes to seed. And if you let this, you see the seed is just coming off. So all of this is plantain here. I'll never be at a shortage for plantain. Okay, this was my sweet potato area in here, and now it's all plantain. Look at all this incredible crimson clover. Yes, it was seeded very heavily. You don't have to seed it that heavily. But boy, is that going to add a lot of plant matter to the soil. Check out my garlic. It's kind of late getting it in. I can't even see it, so bright out here. We've got quite a few weeds. This is ranunculus. Very pretty wildflower. I don't plant it, but it comes up. So I know I dropped the ball, and I should have put this wire up over the winter, and I didn't do it. So it will have to really be inspected before it is going to be operational. May have to be patched. I had to take this down to get the manure drop in the garden. So that was in a video at some point. I think it was 5 loads of horse manure. This is the first time I've done that here. All I've had thus far is a little bit of my own compost and cover crop. So anyway, I'm just twisting this up to get it out of his way, because I honestly don't know how he's going to weed whack around this wire without hitting the wire, because it's not taut, it's not tight, it's sagging. I think I'm going to go in and have something to eat and come back and we'll grab some images of him cutting the cover crop. Okay, I found a patch of yarrow. This is common yarrow with white flowers. I've seen it growing here before, but when you start mowing, you forget where things are. So I have staked this off and I'm going to have him save that. And there's a couple of other things. Of course, I want the dandelions. I don't know if they'll make it. And I also wanted to mention that all of these little yellow flowers you see everywhere, it could be, if they're very small, it could be the wood sorrel, it could be hairy buttercup or bulbous buttercup. And I know buttercup is an invasive weed if it gets in your fields. One other thing I'm going to have him do is avoid where I had a meadow last year. I just saw some native coneflower coming up and I want to have him preserve that. Those lighter green olive patches, I'm going to have him preserve because there's some good stuff coming up in there. As you can see, that stuff is knee or thigh high. And he's got his smaller mower and he's able to go down between my rows where I grew tomatoes last year. I did have hay there, but the cover crop was too aggressive. The lyre leaf sage, and you'll see leaves that are bright green and you'll also see leaves that start turning more purple. And this is the bloom that's coming up. This is the first bloom, but it's very pretty and it is an herb. So I just wanted to point that out. I have a whole patch here which I didn't even know was here until I was walking up the hill. And this is the thing, is if you mow before you investigate, you could be losing all kinds of wonderful medicinal weeds. Look at all that. And I'll be talking about that more in another video. This is Doc going to seed. Ooh, I have a little ant thing going up there. Oh, they must be going inside the cistern. Oh, brother. Look at my irises. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh. Tell me one thing prettier than irises. One other thing you'll find very common in your yard is wild strawberry. This is wild strawberry. Now some people actually try to eat them, I don't. Oh, this is, oh gosh. This is a whole batch of that, but I don't have any sticks. I've got to mark it, otherwise he'll mow it. Well, that looks like a sunflower right there in the front yard. Oh, look. I've got a little bit of crimson clover up here. Oh, I just love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, I have been up and down the hill. I lost count, at least 5 or 6 times. And I'm pooped and I haven't had any water. And he was a little bit early. I was a little bit late on the last video, which was the medicinal plants, weeds video, and that ran over into this video, and so I wasn't prepared. I had to move the hoses, and coil up all the wires so that he can weed whack around it, and so it's transformed in the last half an hour. You saw it, it was so beautiful, and now it's gone. So it's really bittersweet because, you know, maybe next year I'll cut back and just plant this and plant the side garden and just let that do a cover crop through the whole year. I don't know, we'll see. A lot to do. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey here on the homestead. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. Don't forget to scroll down and click that bell for notifications. Click all, so you won't miss anything right here on the homestead. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.